So, Echo Apartments is in Erskineville, and we've got 262 apartments across multiple entries and 4 street frontages. So what I'd say is no matter what your strata scheme size is, I can't stress enough how important basic community building is. Because it's the way to reach out to disinterested residents. So the others just need encouragement, and that generates a group dynamic. And you get sort of a gentle, positive peer pressure from having most people doing it, and then others tend to follow on. Communication shows people that you're interested and active as a group, and examples are easily changed notices that you might put around the building, posts on your Facebook or WhatsApp or whatever you're using, and they answer just everyday resident questions. So it could be encouraging conversations between people, just encouraging that friendship or friendliness amongst the building is really good. And because you've preempted any of your programs with that, it eases the running of the building for any programs, not just the food scraps. The people running the food scraps program, even though the strata committee approves it, it might not be them with the everyday running of it, but the strata committee can be really important in sort of background support in having adopting a transparent attitude themselves and being honest about challenges in a diplomatic kind of a way. It just shows how much work that they're doing, and it creates trust. So then when you introduce programs of any kind, they're accepted more easily. It's also about decisions in the building. So it's, we've made the decision to bring this food scraps in, so people will take to it if they feel there's a trust there. Every resident can help by doing other recycling as well. So the yellow bins, it shows that people care. And again, you've got that gentle, positive peer pressure. So, oops. So our foodies, well, we've got the effortless people who are sort of hats on, let's go. And they're fervently telling everyone that this is life-changing. So they're really easy. And we had a lot of people who were willing, but they couldn't quite get to that online sign up. So we addressed that. I asked Jody if we could have some bins to deliver to the door, which would mean these people wouldn't get the food scraps reminders in the emails, which is a pity, but we felt it was more important to get volume on the program. So Jody said, I'll go you one better. And she sent out Leo and Greg, who were just amazing. And the three of us just smashed around the whole building and just dropped caddies at like 120 apartment doors. And we just put a little note in saying, if you don't want to be in the program, or if you're already using a different caddy or some other system, that's fine. You don't need to join. We'll just pick up those caddies. But the result was that it doubled in a day. So that was pretty impressive and worth the effort. You've also got all of your people who are just so not interested and they're sticking to the one bag policy. Could be any age, could be any occupation, but they have been a nice surprise because a few of them have joined, and it might just be for a food scraps, fridge clean out, something like that. And we don't differentiate in participation with our tenants and owners. We've got the same kind of participation across the building because our community tends to be just still one sort of level of people that we don't differentiate, then it means you've got more inclusiveness. So that's quite good. Nice surprises. Putting in the hard yards ahead of introducing the program Ben Scrapes results, there's a lot of people at our launch, and it created a really sort of buzzy, fun atmosphere, which is really unexpected and really rewarding. Lots of people swapping tips, so that was quite good. And you can put all of that kind of thing onto your updates that you send around, and to say this is what's happening, and these are some more tips, and this is how so-and-so does it, which is a really nice thing to be a bit busy. It will be great if you can find a spot for a neat, clean, how to get started display. Use council tips, use their images as well as your own, and ask volunteers to post on Facebook or leave some helpful handwritten notes. That's quite nice, creates a bit of community, and making it part of the welcome letter or welcome pack is obviously really good. Hindsight is 2020. Don't be afraid to react, change and improve. We had to do a few little tweaks and things to get things happening. put the maroon bins along natural pathways. So if you're watching where people are going in your building naturally, that helps if it's already on their way out when they're walking the dog, that kind of thing. Secondary signage is good. We've got chutes, so we put no food in the chute signs in our chute rooms to try and remind people, just get them out of that habit of just putting everything down the chute. Dual language, if you can reach that, and we just reached out to people in the building. So we did a bit of Google Translate and got them to sort of vet it for us. We find there's a lot of Asian parents who are cooking for a whole family, so they're quite huge contributors to the food scraps. You will need every 8 months to remind people, just prompt them a bit, build up that enthusiasm again. So we place a display near lifts or entryways to serve as a reminder and encourage those not yet on the program, could be new residents. We've got the caddies with the pamphlets and compostable bags. And we do find that a couple of the compostable bags do get nicked, but we don't mind because it's all going to food scrap. So we put a few spare out. So how much difference? At Urco Apartments, our average volume is 3.6 litres per apartment every week. So we put out about 8 bins a week. And the decreased volume in cleaning is quite noticeable. And also the weight of the bins. Food is really, really heavy. So it's not great for cleaners to be carting around really heavy bins all the time. So it's good to see that as well. There's lots on the web because lots of different places have got their own FOGO and food programs. So we crib from a lot of those if they've got suggestions and tips or if they've got messages of enthusiasm, because you need to keep people all pumped up continually. And we put weekly reminders on Facebook in the beginning to just say to people, don't forget to clear your food scraps, don't forget to take it out, because we didn't want them bringing down really heavy bins and things that were leaking and all that kind of thing. So we put lots of reminders out. And thereafter, we just sort of did some monthly prompts to say thank you and good work, you're superstars, all that kind of thing, just to keep the enthusiasm up. And last of all is what they didn't tell us about the food scraps team was that they're always so positive and supportive. So Greg and Leo, the guys who deliver the bins, are always fantastic and always smiling. And Damien, John, and all the guys who are hefting around the food bins, they're quite heavy for such small bins. And they're just always so conscientious and so fun. And it really just puts nice liveliness. So we tell all the residents to say hello to them, and it just puts some fun in the program. And also for Jody and the admins, who are just so fast. I put in an order and poof, you know, it appears they're really quick and reactive when we need caddies for new residents. And they're all a really big part of our success. It just builds all of the support and the reinforcement. So thanks to them, and thanks to everyone for listening.